This is Valley News Live at 6.
We begin tonight with breaking news. The search is on tonight for an armed robber. Fargo police say just before 4 this afternoon, the M&H gas station off of Main Avenue was robbed by a man with a gun.
Take a look at this picture. Fargo police sent it to us saying just before 4 this afternoon, officers, as Andrea mentioned, were sent to the M&H gas station off of Main Avenue for an armed robbery. Officials say that there was a new perimeter that was set up at South University Drive and 16th Street between 13th Avenue and 15th Avenue South. Joining us live now is Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter, Bailey Hurley. Bailey, what can you tell us?
Mike, I'm at the first scene that police set up a perimeter at. I spoke with a neighbor just minutes after everything unfolded here. She says she was in her backyard planting some flowers when she says what appeared to be a kid came screaming down this alley you see here on a bicycle. She said that person then ditched that bicycle on that side of that garage you see there behind me and then fled on foot. She says it wasn't long after that when police started swarming through her backyard. Some of them had their guns drawn while others yelled at her to get inside her home, saying that they were going to send the dogs out. Police were here for a little bit. They did take that bicycle and processed it into evidence. About 30 minutes ago, we were standing here and heard a lot of police action. We heard a lot of sirens going screaming by. We did see some police cars driving up and down this road at a high rate of speed. And now it is confirmed that there is another police presence at this time, another police perimeter set up. Kind of like Mike said, there are officers between 13th and 15th Avenue South and South University Drive and 16th Street South. If you are going to take these routes at any time, if this is your normal way to get home, police are asking you to find different ways to get there and avoid this area at this time until they can hopefully apprehend this suspect and get him into police custody. We are going to make our way there now. We do have a reporter already on scene, but hopefully we can check back in with you sometime within this show. For now, live in Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks, Bailey. And we, of course, will post any updates on our website at valleynewslive.com.
Today, the community is showing love and support for the family of 14-year-old Jupiter Paulson, who died due to her injuries from a brutal assault on Friday.
While her family and the community grieve her death, a part of her will live on. People gathered outside the Sanford Hospital this morning as the organ donation flag was raised by her family. Valley News Team's Aaron Walling brings us this story.
I wish I could douse the trees and plants to give them growth, and I wish I could make the rivers flow more.
The flag is raised, and emotions ran high as the community deals with the senseless death of 14-year-old Jupiter Paulson. The flag raised by her father represents her life-saving organ donation.
It means the world to me that part of her is going to be out in the world saving lives, and to be able to share that with somebody, to be able to help somebody, she would have loved that, she would have wanted that, and so her wishes are also my wishes.
But Jupiter's mom tells us if it weren't for the actions of the sanitation worker that found Jupiter Friday morning, then there might not have been a chance to save any of her organs. She says that man not only called for help when she saw Jupiter being assaulted, but got out of his vehicle and performed CPR.
If he hadn't, she wouldn't even have been able to donate. He gave her extra life. We were able to see her right after it happened and talk to her, and he gave us a little more time.
Today, her family is picking up the pieces, trying to make sense of what happened and how to move forward.
She could walk into a room, and if you were not feeling good, it was mom, 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 mama, mama, mom, until I would smile. And then she would smile and she would go, I love you.
Her presence, because me and her share a room, and just her being there was the most amazing thing. Like, I know I'm not alone. She was always right next to me.
Jupiter leaves behind many siblings, none closer than her big sister, Phoenix.
She was always my buddy for everything. She would be the first person I'd want to talk to. She was my rock.
While the flag was being raised, Jupiter's poem called Rain was played out. She wrote, I wish I was the rain so I could be free. Free to be whoever I wanted, and free to being wherever I went. Her father said it best when it came to his little girl. She was an old soul. In Fargo, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
A walk of honor for Jupiter will be held at Sanford Hospital, and a public memorial is also in the works.
No let up from the heat today, and there continues to be a chance for severe weather. Hutch joins us with the latest on what's out there. Hutch?
Andrea, thanks so much. Good evening, everyone. Most of us are just hot and muggy as viewed here at the Dakota Magic Casino near Hankinson, and nary a cloud in the sky there. It's breezy from the south and warm, but we do have storms exiting our eastern counties now. They extend from Lake of the Woods straight down now into the Park Rapids area and points south of there still. Now, we've had a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings here over the past few hours, and the Red Lakes area finally seeing storms exit. We have training storms where in Lake of the Woods County you have one exit, another one following it, another one following it. So brief heavy showers, but as of now, the heaviest and most intense of the storms heading off to the east. We did get some reports in Roseau County. Thunderstorm wind gusts 63 mile per hour doing some damage there. A gust also near the Red Lakes area 61 miles per hour. How about almost 70 miles per hour out here north of Grafton, and 1-inch hail as well from storms. For tonight, we'll see quieting conditions. Temperatures staying hot, and in Fargo, well, you want the air conditioner on because we'll stay in the 80s into the early overnight hours before slipping into the 70s. I think we stay dry here in the FM area, but that won't be the case. Big time storms will roll out of the west. Tomorrow night, I'll have details on the timing of these storms and what they could bring here in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
The information remains very limited at this hour to a stabbing last night in the 800 block of Bellesley Boulevard in Moorhead. One man had a superficial cut to his hand. Another man, an acquaintance of the victim, was initially taken into custody but was later released. Police say they don't believe there is any threat to the public.
Police are looking for the owner of a dog that bit someone in Fargo this morning. It happened just before 8 a.m. in the area of 12th Avenue South and 14th Street. They're trying to find the dog to verify updated vaccinations to avoid the victim going through unnecessary rabies shots. It's a yellow lab with a green John Deere leash. The owner is described as a white male, about 50 to 60 years old, less than 6 feet tall, wearing a blue baseball cap and a black U2 t-shirt. Call the community service officer number 241-8284 if you have any information.
Investigators say a string of overnight dumpster fires is suspicious, but not connected to last month's arson at a South Fargo strip mall. There were 5 dumpster fires in 3 separate locations on 18th Street South, 22nd Street South, and 25th Street South. Authorities say they're all related, but they're not sure if they're also tied to an arson-related fire at a house last night. Damage at all 3 locations was limited to the dumpsters. If you have any information or surveillance video of the area, call investigators at 701-241-1405. 7 people have been arrested in Minnesota for sex trafficking-related crimes. The arrests shine a light on a problem that has gotten even more complicated online. Reporter Danny Spiewak has the story.
Sex trafficking is sometimes known as a hidden crime, but it's prevalent.
It happens in every neighborhood, in every town in Minnesota. It does not discriminate.
Kirsty Borer works at the St. Paul nonprofit Breaking Free, which has been helping survivors with services and housing since 1996. Their work has only become more challenging lately.
How has this evolved over the years? What have we seen in terms of the changes in technology? How has that impacted this?
It has definitely changed since we have dating apps and all of the social media.
That was evident this month when investigators went undercover on an East Metro task force that included Washington County and Homeland Security. The investigators posed as 15-year-old girls and posted ads in online marketplaces or through popular apps. They arrested 7 people who responded looking for sex with minors, including 2 using the apps Whisper and Meet Me.
A trafficker can take their time to groom someone online in a very different way than they could in person. And so, absolutely, there has been a huge shift in trafficking.
That's why Kirsty Borer suggests talking to your kids about red flags online, especially when they're not in school during summer.
You just need to keep your personal information private online. Don't talk about where you go to school or post pictures with your sweatshirt that has your high school on it. We really just have to acknowledge this is happening and listen.
Danny Spiewak, KARE 11 News.
A more detailed trial schedule for 3 former Minneapolis police officers charged in George Floyd's death has been set for next March. Last month, a judge pushed the trial of Thomas Lane, Jay King, and Tou Thao out to next March, in part because he wanted publicity from the trial of ex-officer Derek Chauvin to cool down. But now court will be in session on March 7th to deal with any evidentiary motions or administrative issues. Jury selection begins March 8th and opening statements are March 28th. A petition drive is underway as a group of Fargo parents are seeking to recall 4 members of the Fargo School Board. The 4 are Dr. Tracy Newman, Jim Johnson, Seth Holden, and Nikki Gullickson. A table is set up at RibFest at the Fargo Dome, and at last word, they had collected over 600 signatures in just a few hours. The group is aiming for 4,500 signatures for each board member. To sign the petition, you must be 18 years old and have lived in the Fargo School District for at least 30 days.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, no shortage of customers, but a serious lack of workers. How hard it is for a local restaurant.
But next in weather, we'll track these storms as they exit our area, and we'll talk about some potent storms as we go from Thursday and into Friday. Timing it all, we'll have the latest next.